Welcome, Kiss Army, to episode 23 of the Kiss Army Things podcast. This is the return of Ryan. You're with Xander.
And Jeb.
And Ryan.
Ryan is joining us again. If you've been watching the podcast since the beginning, you'll know Ryan was joining us in episode, I think it was episode 5, I think.
So the earlier ones, yeah.
Yeah, and so if you don't know who Ryan is, that means that you're new to the channel, which means you should subscribe. So do that right now. Follow us on Instagram. Right. So, Jeb, what do you want to do first?
Well, we could start with our spotlight of the week. Of course, that's where we choose whatever album we're enjoying, whatever concert footage, whatever, anything Kiss media related. Just going to go through and see what we've been digging on lately. Who wants to start? You can start. I started last time.
Yeah, I'll start, and then we'll go Ryan, then we'll do Jeb. Absolutely. So, I am spotlighting Psycho Circus. Mm-hmm. Psycho Circus is an album that ranks, and I'm not sure really where it ranks, but I don't think it matters. It's an awesome album that I love to listen to. I know it's an album that, doesn't really get, talked about a lot because of the fact that it wasn't, originals only like it should have been. Right. Some of the songs maybe could have been, left off, but I don't know. That album to me is just fantastic. Track number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, the first large chunk of Psycho Circus is just fantastic.
That was really our first Kiss album that we've probably listened to full length.
Yeah.
Growing up, that was Psycho Circus is very classic to us.
Yeah, I love 90s Kiss, early 90s with the Revenge, the Reunion, and Psycho Circus era. I love collecting Psycho Circus. Just everything Psycho Circus is great.
For sure.
Ryan, what's up with you, man? What have you been doing? What have you listened to?
Honestly, man, I've been going back to the debut album.
Okay.
First one, I was telling Jeb this earlier. Actually, I've just been listening to that album nonstop.
Can't go wrong with the debut.
Constantly. Every song was a hit on that thing, from Strutter, Firehouse, Deuce, Black Diamond. It was all just, it's my
not
opinion,
a bad number in the bunch.
No, it's just one of the greatest rock albums of all time, in my opinion, and it's easily probably number one favorite Kiss album.
For sure.
Aside from Dynasty, as you guys know, which
I
got made fun of last time.
I was going to say last time.
Dynasty. Dynasty, yeah.
But
on the last episode with Ryan, we gave our hot takes, and he revealed his favorite Kiss album being Dynasty, which we respected.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Dynasty.
No. Plenty of fans love Dynasty,
but as far as spotlighting one, that's one I've been on for a couple weeks now. Just been going hard with that debut album.
For sure.
Cannot go wrong. Now mine is a little different. It's almost like cheating, but not really, because it is a Kiss album.
Yeah,
I'm going to be shining a spotlight on this album. It's called Ancient Door. Okay. Xander let me borrow this. A friend of his sent in this. Basically, it was made by this guy named Christopher Boryars. It's a cover-to-cover of
it's tribute, if you will.
It's a tribute album, basically, to The Elder. Hence Ancient Door and everything like that. It covers every song through beginning to end. It's when was this made? 2021.
It's brand new.
It's pretty much brand new. It sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's extremely well produced.
Honestly, I had my hesitations at first because every time you hear someone recommending a cover song of a band you like or something like that, you might go,
red flag.
There's some hesitations there, especially with Kiss. So many people just don't know what to do with it. But this is a really, really faithful cover of the album, and they just did it really well. The production sounds really, up to date, modern. Sounds absolutely fantastic. The singing is really good. It was just an outstanding job, and it made me appreciate the album, even more so. And I kind of even, never really understood what people meant when they said, well, The Elder, it's not a bad album, it's just a bad Kiss album. And I always rejected that until I heard something like this, and I go, well, hearing someone else, do it makes a little more sense. It sounds way more cohesive. It just sounds really good. So, Xander, do you know if any of this is on YouTube or where anyone can find this?
So,
I'm sure if you searched it, you could find it, but it's called Ancient Door, a tribute to music from The Elder. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I don't know how many physical copies are still available.
Yeah.
But definitely check them out on Facebook, because you can follow them on Facebook. I follow them on Facebook, so definitely reach out to them on Facebook if you want to get you a copy. But I recommend it too, because I heard about it, but I didn't rush out to get it. I was actually given it, and I'm so glad that I was, because when I popped it in, immediately I was like, dude, this is like a step up from the original Elder, because the original Elder had some production issues where it just it didn't sound very, very clear. It didn't sound, of course, heavy, which it wasn't meant to be a heavy record, but yeah, it's not an album that is, you think of and, oh yeah, the production of that album was really great. No, it's not.
Pretty disappointing on the original.
And this is just like one or two guys, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, this is like, there's not very many people involved.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But it's well recorded, well produced, well executed. The cover art is great. The packaging is great. So I recommend it top to bottom.
Yeah, especially if you're a fan of The Elder, couldn't recommend it more. Even if you're not, hearing it through a new lens, again, it kind of opened my eyes. Just to hearing another artist do it, it just sounds really good.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Are you a fan of The Elder, Ryan?
Oh boy.
Yes and no.
Hot takes, Ryan.
I was like you don't have to be, but I mean, it's just...
The Elder is one of those Kiss albums, and it's funny, we were just talking about this earlier too. It's one of those albums that I feel like we kind of touched upon it last time I was here too, where you see it as what people have told you it is, where you have all these preconceived notions of what it is before you even listen to it. Like you think The Elder, and immediately you're like, you kind of wince a little bit. You're like, oh man, that's... But
for sure,
if you're looking at it from just like an album, then I'm a fan of the album itself. But if I actually look at the entire Kiss catalog, it's not my favorite.
So kind of like what you were saying, it's a good album, but maybe
not the best Kiss.
The best Kiss album,
yeah,
for sure. That makes sense. That's fair.
Admirable.
Well, speak of hot takes, does anybody have any unpopular opinions? Should we get ourselves in trouble?
It's going to be our running theme with Ryan, of course, because he's got hot takes about everything. So I mean, if you've got anything you want to throw out there, maybe start a discussion, see if we agree, disagree. Fist fight, because there's never a shortage of
unpopular opinions when it comes with Kiss.
I'll go last.
Oh boy, I couldn't almost think of anything.
For sure. Well, I mean, gosh, see, now that the pressure's on me because
yeah.
Well, I mean, if I was to say something that definitely is an unpopular opinion amongst most Kiss fans, I would say that Kiss Alive is not the best Kiss live album.
Okay. I think that's definitely unpopular.
Now, I know why folks say that because obviously it saved the band, it, saved the record company.
True. Absolutely.
It's considered to be one of the greatest live albums of all time. I know it's one of Kiss's best-selling albums. It's gone platinum I don't know how many times. So, I mean, there is an argument for why it's the best, but I guess when I say that, I'm looking at it from a more specific angle. I'm looking at it as what is the best album, live Kiss album, musically? Take away sales and the fact. Of course, it was from the '70s. It was the first live album when it's
iconic.
It's going to be iconic, straight out of the gate. But I mean, Kiss Unplugged.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's
Kiss Unplugged
amazing.
Is brilliant. It is
perfect.
Fantastic. Whether you're watching it or listening to it, but of course, just listening to it is a fantastic experience every single time. Even Kiss Alive 3, which I guess we're just talking about the Revenge lineup at this point, which we all know is was a really good era.
Yeah.
But personally, I mean, if I had to say what the best Kiss live album was, it's a toss up between Kiss Alive 3 and Unplugged, just because the songs, the way they were played, I think stood out more to me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Unplugged.
Yeah,
that's one of the live albums. That's probably maybe my most listened to live album. I can't get enough of it.
No.
And of course, there's always the argument with Alive that there's so many overdubs. It's like there's always going to be changes being made to live albums when they're produced in that way to give it the best feel. So I'm sure even Kiss Alive 3, I don't think I Still Love You was performed in front of a crowd. I think I Still Love You was recorded like either during a sound check or was recorded.
That's true.
And then just again kind of like some songs on Kiss Alive 2, they just kind of piped in audience noise and then sent it out. But the reasoning behind that was, I think, to have songs that weren't on previous live albums. And definitely. So that makes sense why they did that. But when you hear that, you're like, it's not But who cares? Yeah. Who cares? It's Kiss. I mean, it's live Kiss.
If you enjoy the song.
Enjoy the songs, And so I think
that song makes the album.
Kiss Alive 3 is probably my favorite Kiss live album. What's your favorite Kiss live album?
Honestly, the Unplugged.
Unplugged as well?
Yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that. That is, like I Still Love You, that song makes that album for me.
Yeah.
Just when he kills it.
Yeah. I Still Love You on Kiss Unplugged was performed in front of an audience. I Still Love You on Kiss Alive 3 was not performed in front of an audience. I wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
But that version of I Still Love You on Kiss Unplugged is gnarly.
It's
vocally
amazing.
Paul, dude. Absolutely crazy.
I get chills every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention that there's so much that album has to offer, considering it has the original 4 as well as the original lineup. So if you want a little bit of everything, you're getting it. You still get at the very end of the album, you're getting the original 4, that high energy, playing those classic Kiss songs like "Nothing to Lose." I mean, like it's just,
with both
you're
Eric
not gonna
and
get
Peter.
that. Yeah, you're not gonna get something like that on any other live album.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, absolutely. So the whole Peter and Ace dynamic adds a whole different level to it.
Trading vocals on Rock and Roll All Night,
That version of Rock and Roll Night, I think, is the best version of that song, and it's
thought
because
about that.
every one of them is singing at the same time.
Well, they sound like they're enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Yes, even Nothing to Lose. Even Nothing to Lose.
That's the best
that
version
version
of
is the
That
best.
is amazing.
Peter sang his ass off on that song.
Do you remember? I think you were there. This is back maybe over a decade ago. We were in the car with our family and driving somewhere, and we actually heard the unplugged version of Nothing to Lose on the radio.
That's strange.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember.
So you don't.
that.
Okay, so you might.
I believe it.
So maybe you weren't there, but I do.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see. I'm trying to think because I think it was that pirate radio.
Yeah,
You remember that?
There
was this radio station that, of course, it was never advertised because it was illegal.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to, but they were using some frequency that you could only find it if you were just, turning your knob and happened to come across it. So one day, Dad came across, some like rock music. And he's, oh, hey, this is a cool station, and it was always, this is pirate radio. Nobody will ever catch us, or whatever.
It was just one guy.
It was probably one guy in his basement broadcasting music illegally
killer too.
over. But he was playing music that like you would never ever hear on the radio.
That's what made it good.
And so hearing Nothing to Lose on the radio live
crazy.
from Kiss Unplugged like always stood out to me. And guess what? Of course, they ended up getting shut down.
Well, I was going to say
it's no longer around anymore.
No.
That was our go-to radio station until it was short-lived.
Yeah.
Because it did get shut down, but we were like, this guy's doing it right. Whoever's in charge of that, whoever's broadcasting that's playing.
Yeah, one day
people actually want to hear.
Yeah, one day turn the radio on and it was just static, and there was like we were like, oh no.
Yeah.
We were so bummed.
Like,
but anyway, so yeah, that's one of my hot takes.
I just thought of one randomly in my head that, man, maybe later I might have to walk it back. But I'm feeling good about it now. And I'm not even sure how I can justify it, but I'll say as a hot take. And if you're an 80s Kiss fan, that was your era, this might not sit well with you. That's okay. I think Carnival of Souls was maybe better than any 80s Kiss album.
That's a hot take. That's a pretty good.
For me.
But that's a good one, though. I like that.
Because I love that. That album might be, since we did that top 5 albums, that might be in place of another. That might replace Lick It Up, because that was in my top 5. It might take the place of Lick It Up in my top 5. I just absolutely love the album. The sophistication of the music. Bruce Kulick's guitar is genius on that record. I love the harmonies from Gene and Paul. They sound awesome. The productions, it's just kind of there. It doesn't really sound like it was even produced.
Right.
Of course, it wasn't really finished.
That might have been the point. Yeah, I was going to say it was kind of just
kind
of like Caught in the Shade, where it's just.
Yeah, but I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I think I enjoy that album maybe more than I do any other 80s Kiss record.
Cool. Okay.
And it just doesn't ever get the credit it deserves. I mean, Carnival of Souls for me is like, it's just on another level. Just musically, not just even a Kiss album. To me, that's just like serious music. I absolutely love it. So Carnival of Souls is way above and beyond.
Cool.
What a lot of people seem to give it credit for. But that's just me.
For sure.
That's my hot take.
So Ryan, does Carnival of Souls rank pretty high for you, or is that one that?
Yeah. Do you listen to Carnival of Souls? Some people.
Or that? Yeah. Some folks don't.
I do. It's not. It's never been one that like if I'm driving I put on immediately. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely one if it came on I wouldn't turn it off. You know, it's just like that's where it sits with me.
Go back and listen to the guitar, man.
You guys are guitar guys, so I mean that makes sense.
It's not a bad album at all. It's just
so good. It's brilliant to me. Everything about it is just like I notice all these little things that I know no one else is getting. I'm just like, that is cool. It's mostly just Bruce Kulick. It's his album. And
to me, it's the most, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it's the most. When I say forgettable. I don't mean that it's a forgettable album, and I mean that's the one I just don't think about.
Okay, for sure. That's like me with Sonic Boom. I always forget it exists.
Yeah. Well, and that's because it's not freaking on.
It's not on Spotify, so I don't see it.
Like when someone says Kiss, I don't mean to go, oh, Carnival of Souls. I just don't.
It doesn't compute.
Yeah,
because Kiss is like
it's just like
Destroyer,
the last thing that I think about.
Dynasty.
But
It's a weird album. It's a weird album.
That's what's cool about the hot takes and different fans sharing their opinions, you know.
Yeah,
to me, Carnival of Souls is like, again, it's on another plane, you know. For me, for you guys, it's just like, whatever. I know you really love Carnival as well.
Yeah, and it's a weird album because I remember when I first saw the album, because I saw the album cover years before I ever actually heard it.
Right.
Even at a young age, we had memorized the album covers, and even if we never heard them, you know, we memorized the names of the albums. And so, seeing Carnival of Souls, the album cover, for the first time as a kid, I think I was like 6 years old. Like, it stunned me. I was like, I don't recognize that album cover. Yeah. I've never seen this.
It looks like a bootleg.
It looked really weird because I was like, I could tell that it was the Revenge lineup, obviously.
Oh yeah.
But you know, Bruce had like facial hair.
Stubble.
The image was stretched. None of the songs rang any bell.
Right.
I was wondering if it was like I didn't know what it was, and so it wasn't until I think probably a decade later, about probably in 2010, 2011 when. You know, when you're a teenager, you start getting your money, you start buying albums. Yeah. I actually bought it and listened to it, and that's why I like the album, is because for me, and maybe you guys too, being younger Kiss fans, it's kind of like a free for all where you're just kind of like getting any and all Kiss albums in and out of order just whenever you can. Right. So it's like, Carnival of Souls, I don't care if it was, a bunch of demos that almost got shelved and then just got released or was leaked, and then none of that matters to me. I don't care.
Right.
What I care about is the songs and the music. And so again, I'm not really sure where Carnival of Souls ranks, but I love that album.
And again, I think that's a big difference with me on a personal level, because it sounds ridiculous, but since I was so young when I got into Kiss, it took a lot for me to listen to them without the makeup on.
Really?
Like it took a lot for me to be like, is this gonna be good? Is it not? Because I'm just so
it's a different Kiss.
It's a very different Kiss.
Obviously, eventually I became a huge fan of it all. But whenever I saw oh man, they're human under that, it just broke my heart. It's like,
you had perhaps the experience that so many young people had when they took it off. Probably hit you the same way a lot, because some people checked out when they took the makeup. They lost the magic.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it was almost like that quality that struck me initially. It's like they
lost it. Yeah,
but
see, for Xander and myself, we since we watched that Kiss Extreme close up, we already knew everything all at once. So we got the makeup and the non-makeup.
Yeah. Same day.
Because, I mean, you turn that video on, the first thing is Unholy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
And that's them out of makeup. And then it goes into what Sure Knows Something. And in a way, we're lucky because we never had that moment of this is Kiss and they changed. It's just, for us, it was just Kiss either way.
That is very true. Yeah. And I think that kind of helps.
Works to our advantage.
It works to our advantage because things end up being more palatable.
Yeah. And that was the thing too. I kind of discussed.
I just got my hot take. Go ahead. I got my next hot take.
It's something I discussed last time I was here too. How I didn't have anyone in my life I was surrounded by who liked Kiss, so no one sat me down and warned me hey, they're going to take their makeup off. No one ever.
Just wait till
So it was really whoa. It just blew my mind. But
absolutely.
So I can see where you guys kind of had that your whole life, where I was like, so it was like walking on eggshells getting into those records.
How long did it take for you to figure out Kiss took their makeup off? Do you know about how long?
I was 19. No, no. I think the first time. I remember the first video I saw. I don't remember how. I was pretty young though, but it was the Domino music video.
That's a good one.
That's a random
with Gene
one,
just pumping gas and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
That video was great.
That is really good.
But I love that album. I love that song. I love that video. I love him. But I was like, oh, it's Gene. Okay. Because I recognized the voice. And I was like, wait a minute. But then, so I started piecing it together. But it was,
Yeah, I can only imagine. But you could have done worse with finding out that they took off the makeup.
Absolutely.
It's like a video from...
I could have watched
Who Wants to Be Lonely, man. It could have been...
I could have turned on the night or something.
I could have watched Look It Up first.
Look It Up was weird. That video... So
All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Here's something that I don't know if I even want to, experience this, but imagine being a Kiss fan for 10 years. It's 1983, or
since '73.
Since
beginning.
Imagine being Kiss, for almost a decade or whatever, and all of a sudden you hear the new Kiss song, and it's Lick It Up. You're watching the video. And it's their feet, and you're like, oh, they got new outfits, they got new whatever.
And then you see Vinny.
It pans up.
You see Vinny.
And it's Vinny, and it's Gene, mean mugging, and his, Gene being, half, seductive, half angry, and it's...
loss.
Paul looks fine. Paul's fine.
Paul,
he's always hot.
Yeah. Paul looks good.
Paul's looking
but
good.
You're looking at everybody. Eric Carr's looking like, are we
Eric's like...
Eric's just, I'm here for the ride.
He's just happy to be there.
Yeah, Eric's happy to be there, and it's just a weird video. They're eating like gummy worms and
it's
apple juice or whatever.
Weird video.
Whatever they're doing
They're
that
trying
video.
to look tough.
And the song rocks. It kicks ass.
The song's so good.
It's just...
Gosh, it's such a weird song. Now the video for All Hell's Breaking Loose, I thought was pretty cool.
It's cringy.
Watch it. No, I mean it's cringy.
Oh,
but
I know.
It works a little bit better.
I mean, cringy.
Is that the one where they're eating meat over the trash can, like we're street bums
in the alleyway?
Yeah.
And then Kiss walks in, stepping over the skulls.
Yes.
It's kind of for the time. I bet it was totally cool.
Pretty epic. Is there a sword fight at some point, or am I just wanting to put that in?
I haven't seen it.
I hope so.
That'd be awesome.
I'm not gonna watch it. But
no, I haven't seen it in forever. But okay, for sure.
I'm going to go back and watch it.
Eventually, we'll have to do an episode ranking the best worst Kiss videos.
That's actually something I've wanted to do as well. And whether we're ranking them or just talking about our favorites or least favorites and why, no, that's an absolutely great. It's an awesome idea.
We talk all day about that.
I would love to do that.
Absolutely.
I've got a hot take that I just have to get off my chest.
Wow, air it out, man. Let's go.
And if you don't see me on the podcast next week, it's because I've been booted out.
It's because he's not welcome back after this.
It's been mutiny.
I might agree with him, though.
And
it's going to be me and Ryan featuring Alex if we decide to let him back.
And I will understand if our next episode 24, has zero views if our audience completely leaves after I say this next sentence.
So you're putting our podcast in jeopardy.
I'm putting the whole podcast in jeopardy right now with my next statement. Here goes. Samurai Sun rocks.
Oh yeah,
Samurai Sun rocks.
Does anyone remember Samurai Sun?
Well, they did the collaboration with the Japanese group MCZ, Memorial Clover Z, whatever it was.
Memorial Clover Z.
Yes, that was awesome. Now, what made me think of this was when you said, or we were talking about how it works to our advantage. Being modern Kiss fans, where it's like you were exposed to any and all Kiss at any given time, so Kiss isn't really one defined thing. In fact, you almost want to describe Kiss as being a multitude of things that makes up
it's all encompassing
the entirety of Kiss. So when Kiss announces, hey, we're doing a collaboration with MCZ, we're going to be doing two versions of the same song, a Japanese version, an American version. We're going to be releasing a music video along with it. Like, that to me was exciting. I was very excited. I had no idea who MCZ is. Not a fan today, but doesn't matter. Was excited to hear anything new coming from Kiss. Kiss doing a collaboration really doesn't happen a lot. I feel like, you had Run DMC and Aerosmith doing a collab. Yeah, and I've heard, Motorhead and Ozzy singing or, doing collaborations and things. So it's
Ozzy and Post Malone.
Jackal and Brian Johnson did a collaboration.
Really random,
But for Kiss to do a collaboration really just seems random, and that was pretty exciting. And I understand where most Kiss fans looking at something like Samurai Sun, and they've been fans, for 40, 45 years, they're looking at that going, this is embarrassing. Our group is dancing around with a bunch of girls singing this, and I'm like, so?
Right.
Your band has been dancing around in high heels and makeup since 1973.
Exactly.
Your favorite band was prancing around in lace in the 80s.
They did Dynasty.
Wearing more makeup in the 80s.
I agree.
Yeah, they did Dynasty. They did The Elder. They did Crazy all this stuff.
Where do you draw the line?
Where is
it's arbitrary. People don't think about it.
No, and so for me that doesn't matter at all. When I watched the music video and it transitioned from anime to live action, some of the live action footage they captured of Kiss for that Samurai Sun video, or whatever it was called in Japanese, is absolutely fantastic. Yeah. When I look at that music video and I see the live action footage of Kiss, I'm like, now see, that's proper art direction. That's like the last two music videos we got from Kiss were the two like live compilations for Right Here, Right Now and Marne Delilah, which were really cool, but they're playing it safe because it's just taking concert footage and mashing it up and there's saying, blah, here you go.
Marne Delilah was a little different though.
It had a little bit of concept in the beginning and the end, with the footage of them stomping through.
That was cool.
That was
really cool.
Yes. I want to do a whole video on that. Anyway, not a podcast, but a separate video on the channel. Anyway, what's I talking about?
Memorial Clover Z and the How cool the video
that video, yeah. I wish if there would have been another album after Monster, or even for Monster, a music video that looked like that, with art direction like that, with graphics like that, with color grading like that, would be absolutely epic. That to me was not an embarrassment. I think that song, when I listen to it, I can jam out to that song. I do.
Sure.
I know it's kind of weird and different for Kiss, but so is The Elder. So is Crazy Nights.
Sparkles.
So is Let's Put the X in Sex.
Half the catalog.
They all have
half the catalog. Yeah, I mean and for most fans, it's like anything but the first 6 records, or just the first 6 records is Kiss, and then forget the rest. And to me, I'm like, look, I want all of it. And I do not agree with fans who say that the last Kiss song ever to be released was Samurai Sun and Don't Touch My Ascot. People, I think, try and...
From the Scooby-Doo, for those who are wondering.
Yeah, so when they did Scooby-Doo, all 4 members of Kiss recorded Don't Touch My Ascot for the fictional band, the Ascot 5.
Yeah.
Now, I think Kiss fans in the last several years...
I think it's great.
It's
funny.
It's
awesome.
No, I mean, definitely the best Kiss song since Samurai Sun, right? Absolutely. No, but when I think Kiss fans try and get themselves bent out of shape by saying the last 2 Kiss songs released were Samurai Sun and Don't Touch My Ascot. Well, no.
I just say don't listen to it.
Don't Touch My Ascot isn't a Kiss song, first of all, okay? It's barely even a song. I mean, I guess it qualifies as a composition, but not really a song, I guess. But it does feature the 4 guys in Kiss, but it's humorous, and it's for the fictitious band, the Ascot 5. Don't take it seriously. And even though Samurai Sun definitely does feature Kiss, I think that it being a collaboration doesn't quite count. It's not pure, tried and true Kiss. It's Kiss and someone else.
Exactly.
The last pure Kiss song we got, right here, right now,
from Monster.
And that song is great. I love Right Here, Right Now.
I don't understand why I didn't make it to the standard album version.
I don't know why
because it's a perfectly decent song. It rocks like the rest of the songs rock.
Right Here, Right Now is a great song. It was a cool video, and it didn't make much sense to me making it the single. This is not a hot. This is a lukewarm take. That should not have been the 3rd single. And if it was going to be the 3rd single, it should have been on the album. It was on the international tour edition, and they released it as a single on iTunes, and so it was like an iTunes thing.
Interesting.
But fans like me are going to go out and buy every version of the CD, but
Xander does own every version of the CD available, as far as we know.
As far as I know, but most fans aren't going to do that.
Right.
And so for them to release their single and have it only be limited to iTunes or the international or whatever version it was.
I feel like music at that time, it wasn't that long ago, but 10 years ago, I feel like there was a lot of that weird promotional strange things where you have bonus song, and people are still doing it, where you have to buy a certain edition of an album just to get a couple extra songs. So everyone does it now. I feel like that was really when that was big. It's kind of annoying.
Sure, yeah. I mean, but I just think that if you're going to release a song, it should be on the album. I don't know. My bad.
I agree. I think
because it's a
should be right. Like you should have your single should be on the album.
It's a perfectly decent song.
But it is a good song. Yeah. Anyway, my hot take is that Samurai Sun's great. I don't care what any Kiss fan says. The artwork they produced for that was beautiful.
The artwork is absolute. To me, I can't remember the last time I don't remember the song at all. I'll be honest. I'm not sure if I've even seen the video after watching it the first time.
I vaguely remember the artwork.
But the artwork is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. It's because the Japanese just go above and beyond everything, and the packaging is just beautiful.
The artwork is, I hope there's no glare. I'm sorry if there's a glare, folks, but this
that
artwork
cover especially
is
that's
fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah,
this is a perfect Kiss album.
This is the Kiss cover right here.
To me, that's better than Monster.
Oh,
better than Sonic Boom.
Absolutely.
And I love the Monster cover.
Oh, for sure.
This artwork was the other one's single.
Yeah, see, I mean, just conceptually, it's fantastic.
And the slip cover, they just put so much work into it. I'm like, well, this could have been a Kiss album, but of course it took them a collaboration, with the that all-girl Japanese group for them to put effort into a really good video.
Feel the paper.
Yeah, it's like everything.
Oh yeah,
that's some fancy special paper.
Yeah.
If you're unfamiliar, at least check out the video, for Samurai Sun. And,
yeah,
if you're a CD collector,
the video I understand is weird.
Sure.
For some Kiss fans,
I love anime, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
right.
if you're definitely not familiar / okay with anime, you're not gonna like it. And that's something that we need to address is that my opinion, even though I like it, our opinions about this doesn't matter because this was not for us.
Exactly.
Clearly.
Japan.
Exactly.
This was Kiss doing like a merger with the entire like country/culture of Japan.
Exactly.
There's a love, very, very nice relationship.
There's a deep love, but yeah, I mean, a good relationship with Kiss in Japan. But I mean, they did not just the collaboration and the music video and the song. I mean, they had all kinds of, like, of course, merchandise. But they had the wood carvings, those special wood carvings. They had those special wood carvings that were commissioned from these artists that are dying out over in Japan. It's a lost art, these wood carvings.
I have a few of those. I mean, I have one of each because there was 3 that they did.
Yeah.
I have what's called clear files. It's a big thing in Japan. It's kind of an anime thing. I don't even know what it is exactly, but I have those 3 artworks, framed in my living room in my house.
I was going to ask if you got those in because he messaged me and said, "Hey, dude, check us out." And I said, "Dude, I cannot wait to see them."
Yeah, I'll have to take a photo and send it to you so you can impose that into the
Are they small? How big are they?
They're about 8.5 by 11, tiny bit bigger than that.
That's awesome.
Now they do sell the big copies of those for like
the actual wood carvings.
I don't know if it's but they're on eBay for about $1,500, and they're excellent, and they're full big size. If I had the money, I love the artwork a lot. But anyway,
but that was just a really cool era for me. I know a lot of fans don't like it, but this was the last era when we were getting new things, and by new I mean Kiss trying something completely different.
Again,
when they did "I Was Made for Loving You." I mean, that was a big step for them. And hey, guess what? It worked. They had a hit. The Elder, not so much, but this actually was a hit for them. No. This charted very well in Japan, stayed on the charts, and, obviously MCZ is huge in Japan too for the modern day era, and then Kiss being kind of like the veterans. Yeah. That was a perfect collaboration, I felt like, MCZ and Kiss.
And I don't care, like, what people, any band, any group, whoever it is, if they try something new, you have to respect it. Like, you have to respect them.
Whether you like it or not, you can still respect it.
You have to, just...
Well, that's what Kiss does best.
Yeah, and not everything is going to be...
Not every dart is going to land.
And that's perfectly fine. Like, not every Kiss fan likes every Kiss song and every Kiss album, and that's just the way it is.
I've said before on the podcast, I think it ties in here, is that whenever Kiss does something anyone says, well, that's not Kiss to me, it makes it more Kiss. Because that is their whole entire career, is doing things, up until, when Destroyer hit, people said, that's not my Kiss. And, and that's Destroyer we're talking about.
When Destroyer came out, that was like Kiss trying something new,
and then it was Dynasty.
Crazy.
People said, that's not my Kiss. Well, guess what? It definitely is. This is exactly what they do. Unmasked, not my Kiss. It's Elder, not my Kiss. Everything they do in their career, taking off the makeup, not my Kiss.
Not my Kiss.
Every time that they've done that.
This current era Kiss, not my Kiss.
This current era Kiss, not my Kiss. Every era, everything they've done is something where someone said, that's not my Kiss. I'm like, every time they do that, it's more Kiss, because that's exactly what Kiss is. They will do everything and more.
They're whatever you want them to be, and that's the best part.
Yes. It's a lifestyle. It's a force. It's a pack of dogs. It's whatever you want it to be. That's like one of my favorite. I think I used that quote on our channel for for the Kiss content section. It's accurate. It's true. But I don't know. I thought that was a cool era because, again, you're getting something new, something fresh. It was a hit for Kiss, and I wish that they had done something else after this.
I definitely.
A new album would have been great. That's something I think we can all agree on, is that we would love to have another Kiss album.
We're hurting on some Kiss music, man. Everyone else is putting out albums.
Yeah.
Still, but anyway.
Going back to album art, this is I'm just going to ask a question. Just to see if do you guys have like a favorite Kiss album cover?
That's something that I've thought about
like
a lot.
Like a number one that...
An album cover that tops them all.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Like which album art is like the one you're like, that is perfect?
I think I've looked at them all so much that they are almost all the same.
Interesting.
Not all. Right. Sorry, no. They're not all the same.
No, but it's like
my reception of them,
and
my affinity for them.
I get it.
Like I love. It's like my child. I love this is my child. I like this is my child. So I think if I were to just quickly say one, I mean, the Love Gun and Destroyer obviously are two. The paintings of Kiss.
Beautiful.
I actually like Monster than most folks would.
A lot of people don't like Monster cover. I love the Monster.
I think the Monster album cover, it was straightforward. It was to the point, just like
them.
Dynasty. Dynasty was them in the studio. Click.
I mean, yeah.
Monster, them, Click. But at least Paul's reaching out, and
I think they look cool.
Eric's, I think, like doing the punch. Trying to punch Gene.
They're all cool. Every cover is
apparently they shot that cover for Monster, and then went and filmed their performance for Dancing with the Stars in 2012.
Oh yeah.
So I guess like around April or March or whatever of 2012, they shot that photo, and then it came out in October.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Love that.
I think Tommy posted that and said, "Yep, this day in history." So that was pretty cool. Anyway, does anybody have anything else to add? Any other hot takes?
I was going to pose a question that might. It's not a hot take from me, but it might. Bring out. I didn't get my favorite album cover. He was asking.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I tried to.
What you got?
Every time the first thing that comes to my mind when you say favorite Kiss album cover is Rock and Roll Over.
Okay.
And then I think about it, I'm like, okay, maybe it's not Rock because obviously there's Destroyer. I love the Creatures. I even love.
I forgot about Creatures in the Night.
It's perfect. It's just so simple and effective. And then even the Revenge cover, I love. We were talking about the Revenge album cover. I actually really like it in its simplicity.
Yeah.
But my mind always circles back to Rock and Roll Over because it is just the most radical looking album cover ever, and it's one of those albums for me, much like Revolver from the Beatles. And so if you're a Beatles fan, you know what I'm saying. But if you hear any of the songs, that album cover is in your head. It's so visual. It matches. Every time I hear "I Want You" Making Love.
Yeah.
That album cover is it's like rotating in my head as I'm listening to the
cool.
music. It's such a weird phenomenon. But that I think has had the most impact on me. It's just looking at it is just so radical.
That's awesome.
The colors, it's just it's so Kiss and how in your face it is, and it's really just a neat cover.
Yeah.
What about you, Ryan?
I love it.
The first album cover that struck me, like I mentioned before, was Dynasty.
Yeah, I was gonna say
my favorite immediately became Love Gun, because there's that scene in New York City when she's holding the album cover. It's the devil's music.
Yes.
The devil's music.
When I saw that album cover and there's all four standing there, and there's just these chicks like worshiping them.
It's
these guys,
the chicks in the white
these
face.
Are
yes.
This is it.
I think that's Ken Kelly's wife.
That was
really? I think Ken Kelly used his wife as a reference.
Oh really?
And then
interesting.
But it was his only model, so he just used her for like every one of them.
It does look like the same chick.
Yeah.
In different positions.
And I was like, these guys, that's badass. Like that's like
the Love Gun cover is just iconic.
Yeah, and Creatures. I forgot about Creatures because when I first saw Creatures, it actually it didn't scare me, but it's
intimidating.
It was very intimidating.
Glowing eyes.
Yes, it was the glowing eyes. It was like the dark blue. It was just their faces real big. Nothing else in the picture. Kind of like Dynasty,
Yeah,
menacing.
Just looking at just
Eric's makeup.
Yeah, they're
just really prominent.
They're just standing there menacingly. That's exactly what it felt like.
Yeah, it was.
Fun to reference on the Kiss podcast.
That's a great one.
Is that all of our favorite album covers?
Yeah, I think so. So what was your question?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it might require some thought. So if I can go first, so I can let you think. But I had a thought earlier. I was like, well, that might make an interesting question. If you could erase one Kiss album out of their entire discographies, just studio albums, not solo albums, not live albums. If you could erase one as if it never existed, just from their one album.
Live, studio, solo. What's the parameters? Just a studio.
No live, no solo. Album.
A studio album.
Just the standard Kiss discography and how Xander's got to go look through his CD collection to look. I think I already have mine. And Kiss My Ass doesn't count.
Okay, Kiss My Ass.
Otherwise, that'll be first under.
I was gonna say if that counts, I would say You Wanted the Best.
No compilations.
I know.
It's got to be
just straight studio,
and it can't be Killers.
And the solo ones don't count.
No.
Okay.
Otherwise, Peter, gone.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Ryan says yes. Ryan says you're absolutely wrong.
I mean,
I don't need to be tossing and turning.
You asked me to be here,
so
you will.
Okay, so I think I have my answer, but Jeb, do you want to go first?
Start it off. By the way, I'm not even sure if this would be my least favorite Kiss album, one that I would erase, which is interesting how that plays out. But if I had to erase one, as if it never existed, they never recorded it, never released it, it would be...
No songs exist, nothing. Okay.
And I love the album. Of course, it's a Kiss album.
Right.
Unmasked. It's gotta go.
Unmasked. Okay.
I know. You feel a little uneasy because I like Unmasked. Of course, we like Unmasked.
That was on my list.
It's easy as it seems.
But of course. But for me, the reason why is because it seems so inconsequential.
Yeah.
When I first posed the question to myself, I thought Hot and Shaved, and I was like, well, I can't do without Forever.
Right.
I mean, come on. It's just that that and maybe a couple other songs from that record that made it worth it. And of course, that was a big hit, so that was a big deal for the band. That actually got them. That was in the charts. It was a big ballad in the late '80s.
Yeah.
But you think about Unmasked.
Losing Shandy though, Australia.
That's true, but still, it seems more inconsequential. Because I think The Elder is unique enough to where it offers me that, gives me that wow factor a little bit. And while I think Unmasked is more consistently a better album, it just seems like I could probably go. I'm not going to go without listening to it.
Right.
But if it never existed, I don't think it would impact my fandom to such a degree that I would be any less of a Kiss fan. If that, because I have so much respect for The Elder.
Right.
Even, against some of the stuff on Hot in the Shade, which would have been my other go-to. And all the other 80s stuff I love. So for me, Unmasked, again, I love it. But if it disappeared, maybe that wouldn't change so much about my fandom.
For sure.
But I'm very curious to hear what y'all say.
For sure. Well, Ryan, let's go to you first.
Man, dude,
you're erasing. Do you need more time to think? If you want, I'll go first.
Yeah, go for it, man. I'm obsessed with this question.
So I thought I had my answer.
It's not easy.
And then Jeb started talking and gave me some few points to ponder.
No, I'm thinking
because
I had time to think about it.
Because one of my least favorite albums is Dynasty. No offense, I love Dynasty, but something has to be at the bottom.
That's absolutely fair.
Yeah. So
he's like, I get it, man.
I'm just as embarrassed. Trust me. It's
no, don't be embarrassed. But for me, there wasn't, as many songs on that album. I think only one really. I mean, I Was Made for Loving You was, really a big hit. I mean, X-Ray Eyes,
Sure Know Something,
Hard Times. Those songs don't get talked about hardly at all. Yeah, I think Ace actually did play Hard Times recently for the first time in forever. Wow. That was pretty cool. Anyway, so my go-to was almost going to be Dynasty, but then I thought, I Was Made for Loving You was really big for the band.
And could you go without that song? That song to me is like, I love that song.
It'd be difficult, right? So.
Plus, if it never existed, we wouldn't know.
Right. So I think that one song actually is going to save the album. So I'm not gonna do Dynasty.
True, yeah.
My other choice was going to be Asylum, because because Asylum is one that
makes sense.
Even though Tears Are Falling obviously is a huge hit, and that one definitely matters. In comparison to songs like Lick It Up, Heaven's on Fire, and Crazy Nights, the ones surrounding that, maybe not.
And Gene's songwriting was that.
Obviously, Gene's songwriting was the weakest on. I think
that and Hot in the Shade.
I think that Hot in the Shade and Crazy Nights. I think those three were pretty weak on Gene's end.
Yeah.
But I think if I have to be serious, my overall answer might actually be The Elder. And The Elder ranks extremely high for me. I love The Elder.
Yeah.
I love all the Oddball Kiss albums. I love all the Oddball Kiss albums. And for me, The Elder, but despite that, even though I love The Elder, when I think about what's best for Kiss and their career, you mentioned Unmasked, that was a low point for them.
It's inconsequential. If they never did it, who's to...
They played one show in the States to introduce Eric Carr, and that was really it. The rest was all...
That's true.
So you're saying it's inconsequential compared to some other ones. I agree. I'm thinking The Elder, that was the nail in the coffin.
Oh, totally
I think The Elder is what kind of caused Creatures to fail. Yeah, but then again, The Elder is what caused Creatures to get made in the first place. It was The Elder flopping that woke them up.
They needed that.
They needed the kick in the pants.
Now, Elder's your choice.
The Elder is...
I thought about it, but you know what? The thing about that album is, and why I didn't choose it, is because to me, A World Without Heroes buries any song on Unmasked to me. It's just that, it's like forever. It's that one song. To me, A World Without Heroes is a effing masterpiece of a song.
Sure.
10 out of 10. One of Gene's masterpieces. That song to me, that one song was enough to make it.
It's a good song.
Over.
It's a good song.
It's an amazing song.
Yes, but how do you think it was for folks back then watching that music video?
I don't care.
seeing a tear come down the demon's face?
Hey, you know what?
On a song called A World Without Heroes.
Yeah.
AKA, everybody listening and watching is going, no, you're my hero.
Oh, exactly.
I don't live. It's hard to relate to that song for some fans because it's like, well, no, Kiss, you are my heroes. So,
exactly.
And seeing Gene cry
This is about the song.
Yes, musically, yes.
And I love the video, too. If I would have saw it, I probably would have loved it. Maybe.
Killer Paul solo. That's a Paul guitar solo, yes?
Brilliant.
Very Pink Floyd-esque.
Better than most Ace solos. I'm not even joking.
I agree with that.
That's a hot take.
It does sound like
That's a hot take.
that
It's
one
awful,
solo
but
is note for note absolutely flawless. It does sound like he was trying to do a David Gilmour impression.
Oh, it's definitely like
famously.
So-
it's definitely a what's the
Comfortably
Numb?
Numb.
Oh, it's very.
It's very much
melodic,
comfortably known.
but it is a flawless.
It's like an
solo.
acid-soaked solo.
Yeah,
It is. It's actually got some like reverb and delay on it, just because Kiss doesn't use effects on guitar.
No, they don't, and that does have some effects. I always thought it was kind of basic. I always thought it was kind of like
It is. It's so simple. I can play it on guitar.
Yeah, but it just
It's a great,
it does sound.
There's actually
good.
one hard part.
Really?
And watching him play it is just like, oh man, Paul's awesome. I
sure.
could totally do with more Paul standing guitar solos.
Absolutely.
Because he's done a few throughout
Oh,
Kiss's career. Where one would he would start a solo, Ace would finish it like on I can't remember which song it is on Rock and Roll Over. But yeah, no, that song to me is worth an album's worth to me. Just how much I love that song. It just gets me every time. Never
sure.
gets old for me.
All right, Ryan, did you come up with one or?
Yeah, and again, I don't mean to keep picking on this album. It's just
Here we go.
This is how things are shaking out. But
It's the forgettable one.
just because how it affects me, it's the one I know the least. It's the one I never really pay attention to. Carnival of Souls. If I had to get rid of one,
makes sense.
That one actually probably makes the most sense because by then, I mean, I love the album, but I think that makes the most sense. Go ahead.
because it just, like I said, a lot of it boils down to just personal preferences. Well, it's the one I know the least. It's the one that I just never refer back to that one.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it's a simple answer, but really just
That album kind of flew under the radar, man.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Because to me, it's not just like a good album. To me, I get like deep into that album. It's just so, so good.
going back talking about the album cover, it was just an odd, it just didn't click.
That
for
I
me.
I agree with. It's very lazy.
That album might be the least Kiss.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Even
I think
that's
it is.
why
even less the Elder.
There's no. Oh, I was gonna say there's no songs about sex, but there's no sex songs about the Elder either.
No.
Because that you could almost define Kiss by the songs.
Yeah, it's just
how many songs are about.
Dude, that's it.
yeah, it's
And
about partying and chicks.
It's a good time. The Elder simply doesn't contain any of the explicit.
That is actually why I like the Elder too, because it's an alternate universe Kiss album.
Exactly.
Yes,
That's the best
it's like
way
an
to describe
alternate
it.
universe.
It's like flip Kiss upside down. This is what they are.
Yes,
It's
exactly, exactly. I've got one last thing on the agenda, and then if you want, we can wrap it up. Does that sound
I don't
good?
think I can take any more hot takes.
No more hot takes. No more hot takes.
Can you take any more? What did you think of our hot takes, man? Do you have a hot take?
Yeah, I mean,
Is Carnival of Souls as good as I think it is? I don't know.
Yeah, we're just here airing it out because I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, you get so used to these like the same thing being said. It's like let's shake it up. Yeah. You know. Anyway, so there's one last thing I wanted to get to before we wrap it up real quick, and this I actually did not plan.
Okay.
The fact that Ryan's here, this is just a coincidence. We actually just last minute said, Ryan,
let's get.
Ryan said, I'm coming out there to see you.
That's right.
So I actually have this that I'm going to open.
Yeah, bust out the Kiss knife.
Absolutely.
That is dope. FedEx makes frequent stops by the Xander residence. Oh,
this will be a minute, so.
Oh, a package within a package.
Within a package.
Show me your package.
And if it was anything less, I'd be upset.
Well, they got to make sure it's done right.
So I'm willing to bet that the three of us have never laid eyes on one of these in our life.
Is it cool or is it stupid? He's like me.
My heart's
Xander
pounding,
likes
man.
to buy the most off the wall, strange stuff. Is that a tour book? Wow.
That is a 1979 Dynasty Tour book. Let me get
needless to say, I've never
Look at
laid
that.
eyes
And
on
the best
such.
album is on the cover. Look
Now
at
that is actually like extremely cool. A tour book.
So
on
I
the set.
wanted to actually like open it and look at it, but it's in this.
I mean,
You crack it open.
it's in this shrink wrapped, and so I don't want to open it quite
Yeah,
yet. It's
put-
not sealed.
Use a
since-
knife.
Fine.
Can I see it?
Fine.
exclusive.
Look, how much? I'm not gonna ask how much you paid, but I'm sure you paid a pretty penny for that. You're gonna want to see what's
No.
inside. Really?
I got this for an incredibly low price. I'm not even sure if I want to say how
Some
low.
kid drawing it. That's why it's
No,
they don't.
no. This was an eBay auction
Oh.
that flew under the radar, and somebody thought they had it locked in until I happened to come across and just happened to see it 2 hours before it ended, and I waited 2 hours until the last minute, put my offer in, and got it.
Dude,
that guy woke up. So if you're watching and you didn't get your...
it was Xander.
Sorry.
You didn't get your tour bucks.
So...
That is so
funny. I'll let Ryan check it out.
Man.
So that's from 79.
Yeah, no, I've never seen...
Look at that.
The Dynasty Tour. Even at the expos and places like that, I've never seen the event. It actually looks great.
Dude, that right there, that's the image that got me. Because I had a,
It's perfect.
That's the demon right there.
Man,
it's still holding up.
that's so cool. I love it.
I definitely want to check it out.
Oh, I'm afraid to even open it. I don't even want to like...
The cover's in such good shape.
Yeah, it's in
Dynasty,
relatively good shape.
I'm gonna look through the whole damn
It's
thing.
got a crease on the bottom corner and then a full at the top corner, but
well, it's how old?
it's it's like 45 years old or
Paul
something.
doing
See, look at that. With the shattered shattered mirror.
Is that from the video?
The Cherno
the Cherno something video.
That was the song that I made. That Paul did another solo on.
That's
that's a good one too.
It's a great song.
But, and then they're promoting the.
He's got the shattered mirror Ibanez, which was just
greatest.
amazing.
That's my favorite guitar of all time, by the way. Absolutely. Look at these photos.
Didn't in the A&E documentary, Paul still had that Ibanez, shattered mirror, and he showed the blood where that was awesome.
Ace, with the big
that's
cape.
what I was talking about earlier.
Show the
wings,
the massive
show
wings.
the people.
Yeah, show the people. This is the Ace I fell in love with.
Classic, yeah.
That's my Ace right
What's
there.
that chick? What's that chick from Incredibles? No capes.
No capes.
No more capes, if you ask me. Give Kiss more capes
for sure.
And then Peter, everyone knows what Peter's.
Those
look better without the massive. Oh my goodness, the gaudy shoulder.
Awesome.
The green is.
It's so extra.
It's ridiculous.
So
it is so ridiculous.
You know what? It's so cool. That's cool guy club stuff. That's awesome.
Wow.
Did they ever do Dynasty figures?
Yeah, they did. Didn't
Recently.
Recently. They did recently? Okay.
Oh, they did some.
So I thought they had Dynasty.
They did some really expensive.
They're
they're like a couple. I think.
Over
you're
right.
$100 for each one. They're like.
You're right. Yeah. No.
They looked okay, but for the money, it was weird.
No.
When you think back to the creatures, I'm sure you could put an image up for the people in the.
It's called creatures, but they're actually the unmasked outfits.
Exactly.
And that's so weird.
It's called Kiss creatures, but those are the best Kiss figures.
Those
in
are
the
the
world.
best. I have those.
Yeah.
Those are amazing.
Those are. Oh, they're just perfect.
Those and the Kiss Alive.
Kiss Alive's one, because they were made right about the same time, weren't they?
Yeah, it was all McFarlane.
Kiss
Alive
Alive
it was all
McFarlane.
McFarlane.
That's my number one series.
Yeah, you know what? I even liked the ones that were mass produced in the ones up here, the ones that were mass produced in the late '90s.
No, the weird thing is that they've never looked that good before or since. Why can't they get the figures to look as good as those McFarlanes?
I've got one more hot take if you want me to lay it out.
Go for it.
Please.
I don't care about Mego dolls from the 70s.
Yeah, they're ugly.
When I look at those Mego dolls, I'm like, I recognize like what they represent, but I don't.
So sought after.
But I don't think I want them for myself.
No.
I can't afford them. I don't think I have no more room for any figures. I understand that if there's an attachment to them that you have, and of course, I have an attachment to my era of figures.
Well, those are the first figures.
But I don't like the Mego dolls. I do not like the retro style Sonic Boom and Monster figures that they came out with. Those are ugly. Right there, top left.
It's up in the corner. You can't see. You don't want to see it. But those. See, they just look like.
They're
I'm
not,
wondering.
they're not good.
Those McFarlanes look so realistic and so detailed. It just every little thing. The proportions are just dead on. They look so cool, and they before or since they have never topped those.
No.
To me, those creatures I think are because the costumes are a little better than the Alives.
Another series I love is, and they're so gaudy and off the wall, but I love them. Are the Psycho Circus.
Oh, we got
up there.
Those
are great. Those are great. I love those.
Those are awesome.
Yes.
Those were our first ones.
Those were. Well, no, those were. I think.
Oh, those are not the Psycho Circus.
Those are Psycho Circus.
See, in my head, those were the same because they were.
Yeah,
farewell,
we had them. Yeah, we had them both.
Right.
But to me, the McFarlane figures, the Creatures ones and the Alive ones are great because they're photoreal.
Perfect.
They actually look like Kiss. The outfits are on point. Now, these McFarlane ones from the late 90s and Psycho Circus, they were very like comic booky, larger than life. Make them look like, like aliens almost. And that's why I like those, is because they did kind of break reality. There's the ones that obey reality and the ones that break reality.
Like Gene had like the fangs and like the bat wings.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
yeah, it looks fantastic.
Oh, these are the characters, and that's the actual
some of
band.
the crap it came with was a little weird, but I don't care.
Yeah, I know, it was awesome.
I mean,
I loved it.
Very cool. But if you're a fan of the comic books, then you know all those characters are in there.
Yeah.
The whole Psycho.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was.
Really
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it translates to the fact that somebody in the '70s would love the Mega dolls, and then for us when we're like 4 and 5 or whatever, we were playing with those.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But since then, I just kind of quit on buying figures.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no room for them.
Well, they're ugly now.
The last
They don't do
figures
anything for me.
I bought, the last figures I bought.
Oh, those are actually
these.
Those are actually the best ones in a long time.
These are pretty cool. They're coming out with these now.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can find them.
Yeah.
You can find them like Walmart and stuff like that.
You
Yeah.
can go to the mall and find them.
Yeah, you can find
I
those.
have the
That's why
Catman and the Star Child pre-ordered. They came out with the Demon and the Spaceman first.
Yes, those are good.
And these are super cool. I love the fact that, again, I mean, I know that it isn't like the most detailed,
No.
but it gets away from that god-awful
Yeah.
retro style. These ones, because those ones I don't think move very well, and they're just blocky, and the faces look horrible, but these ones actually look a little bit more decent. They have really good articulation. They come with all kinds of things. I mean, you got
That's
an
what I
extra
like
set
about-
of hands,
That's awesome.
extra hands, a microphone stand. You got the Punisher and
That's great.
the axe. You got two
love
guitars.
Well, it's more akin to those
Aces is over there.
because it's got the guitars and stuff into it. You can actually do something.
Yeah.
It's in the packaging on those are really nice too. I love the packaging.
And a buddy of mine got me Ozzy for
Yeah.
my birthday or for Christmas, I think. Or for Christmas, got me the Ozzy figure from that same
From that same
same line. And that one I actually opened, and I actually have my little Ozzy sitting on top of my desk in there. He watches me when I edit the podcast. But the dolls I kind of gave up on, but I am excited to get the Star Child and
that'd be awesome.
the Catman of those. So, anybody want to add anything else as we wrap up on episode 23 of Kiss Army Things? Anything else you want to add?
So I'll tell you what, for an unscripted episode, it was bad. I mean, we
That
just
was-
kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
Yeah, we literally had no idea. We said we're
Just
gonna
sit down and do some hot takes.
we're just gonna talk about Kiss. It's just talk about Kiss. That's all we're doing.
Yeah.
I have a blast. This is only my second time, but I had a blast. Thank you guys for having me back.
I'm glad
again.
you came back.
It was awesome.
I'm glad you got to come back. We meant for it to be sooner, but I'm glad you're here.
I do have one more thing,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yep.
Peter's solo album is still the best.
Oh, come
Nothing's
on.
changed. I'll die on that hill.
I concur. I concur. I agree. Ryan has
So
converted
just wanted
me.
to end,
That's
Ryan
the
has
kind of
converted
sugar
me.
Papa doesn't like.
that's a
I'll be at night going, oh, toss and turn. I
Toss
can't
and turn
sleep.
all
Oh
night.
man, I'll be
Those are
acting
the
a
only two
fool
songs I can think of from that record.
for sure.
What are some others? I can't think of jack shit from that record.
Tossing and turning.
That's
That's got sugar, Papa
I
likes.
can't think of. I haven't listened to that.
My favorite one is "You Matter to Me."
Okay, that's
Uh,
the other one. That was like a single one.
That one was on Kiss 40, and
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I wanted
box
Tossing and
set.
Turning, but then
Toss and Turn's my favorite. Yeah.
but then when I heard "You Matter to Me," now I love it.
yeah.
And every single time I hear "That's the Kind of Sugar Papa Likes," all I can think
catchy.
about is that scene in Phantom of the Park, the fight scene.
Why would they play that?
Because they used that song for the big fight scene, and I was
awesome.
and I edited that whole scene for like
rock.
2
that was
months
a
straight.
contractual obligation. Peter, he said,
wouldn't
"I'm only
do
going
it.
to be in the movie if you put that's the sugar. That's the kind of sugar that Papa likes."
No, actually, I think when they did the first original release in theaters, they had the really weird. I mean, I think you might have heard of that.
I was gonna say
the
they-
really weird songs and sound effects, and
They
then
changed the
when
different
they did
versions
the
of it,
Australian
yeah.
release,
Yeah.
they actually added in the solo album songs, and of course that made it to the DVD. But yeah,
I like that
I
version.
love "Kiss Me, Stefan."
I like that version of Death they did
So
in the
great.
movie with the acoustic. That was really nice.
I wish
was
that would get
amazing.
an official release. I think some fans were talking about that on the Destroyer box set when they released all the Destroyer stuff. Everyone's like, well, you got Beth, and you have this alternate mix of Beth and this acoustic mix of Beth. Where's the acoustic version from?
The timeline wouldn't have
Kiss
done
Me-
that, but wouldn't have,
No,
wouldn't have
no.
been a part of it. But I would have ate it up.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be great.
This is a cool thing. But anyway, yeah, Ryan, thanks for,
Where's
dropping
my?
that
Okay,
off.
it's over here. I want to make sure my
Yeah.
tour book was accounted for. I got my
You know what? Aces was the best.
solo album.
Aces. Paul's
No,
was the best.
Paul's was the
Gene's
best.
was also the best. Peter's was.
I like Peter's. I do.
You know what? And we're gonna beat the dead horse. I don't care. It is a fine album. I just will. It's just not for me. Like it's like
That's
none of the songs are bad. I'm like, oh Peter, what are you doing? The songs are perfectly decent.
I think the songs are pretty bad, but I like the
What?
album. But I still like the album. Yeah, I don't think Peter, man, was a very good songwriter. No offense to Peter.
Yeah,
such a good seeing voice. His face on the cover,
His
seeing the
voice is
Kiss
great.
logo, it just didn't click for some people, and I get it.
No, I mean,
it's like Ringo with the Beatles.
Well, it's kind of like Gene's. It's kind of like Gene's. You expect one thing from Gene, and you got another. And you expect a rock and roll drummer to do a rock and roll album, and but nobody knew anything about Kiss really, besides what they saw on the makeup. You didn't realize that before Kiss, Peter was a swing jazz,
like a jazz
drummer. That was his roots. He was being honest. It's a very honest Peter Criss album.
Yeah.
You cannot say anything otherwise. So I mean, it may not sit well with fans at that time, and again, a first impression is a lasting impression. But
if you would have had half Paul songs, half Ace songs, and 2 or 3 Gene songs,
well, they should have just done a full Kiss album.
Been,
there should have been no solo albums.
I agree. There should
the
have
solo
been
albums
no
was the beginning of the end. Because
that was an absolutely killer album.
It would have been amazing.
It would have been a great Kiss album. But anyway, so
with no Peter songs on it.
I think we will go ahead and wrap it up there. Sound good, everybody?
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for
show your love for Ryan in the comments. What's your favorite Ryan hot take? What's your least favorite Ryan hot take? Do you want to have him back? Is he not welcome on the pod?
Am I not welcome for liking Samurai Son? You guys gotta let us know.
I have nothing to be ashamed of.
No, I don't care either.
My hot takes are.
Anyway, to those that are watching, thank you so much for watching and listening. Every episode talking about Kiss, we love it. We love you guys for joining us. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Whatever you want. We're always going to be here talking Kiss on YouTube every 2 weeks, dropping episodes. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. So on episode 23 of Kiss Army Things, my name is Xander.
My name is Jed.
I'm Ryan.
Take care.